Hello everyone. For this review, we've got the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition '07 Sideswipe. This figure has been out, I think, for about a month, maybe a few weeks, and I'm finally happy to get a hold of this and be able to review it. I've had a lot of the War for Cybertron figures in the past, and I'm hoping this is going to be a good release. So, going over the box first, we see Sideswipe in the package, and we've got this really nice artwork for Sideswipe. On the side, we've got a portrait of Sideswipe. They've got this little gamepad looking icon at the top. We've got a more full body view of Sideswipe. We've got this gamepad icon with this cutout. And then on the back, we've got a look of the robot mode, the vehicle mode, the diorama he comes with, and a lot of legal ease. And we can see he's 24 steps, so he shouldn't be too complicated to transform. So let's take him out of the package and let's take a look at the robot mode. All right, so here is Sideswipe out of the package, and he's got a gun. He's got a piece that you will need to put on, and this goes on like this. There's a little notch right there and a hole here. This notch does pivot, so you're gonna push it backwards and peg it in. And you're supposed to have him kind of angle it backwards like that. Um, and then for those who are into the backdrops, this comes with a pretty nice backdrop. This is a scene from the game. So that looks looking nice. I will say he's got a pretty good presence out of the package. In a lot of the pictures and videos I've seen, he looks a little odd. First person in real life, it's a lot more. Sideswipe looks well put together. He does have some gaps, like a lot of modern Transformers, but he's got a gap there on the side. The feet are not ideal. They're very much like barricade, but not the worst thing ever. This back part, there's, kind of a compromise to get him from this vehicle mode to robot mode. But I think they did a good job knowing that they were trying to get this into a certain price point. You're supposed to be able to, yep, you can put the gun in his hand as a normal gun. You can also still pull the forearm off and place the gun in that way. So you can have the official War for Cybertron look, where their arms transformed into weapons. That was a carryover from the live action movies. Transformers Prime also did it. They've been doing it for a while now to get away from, I guess, having the robots like wielding realistic looking guns. So uh, he's a pretty cool figure. I I like they're keeping with this add-on weapon concept. Now to bring in some older War for Cybertron figures. Here is Jazz. This particular Jazz was the Japanese version and had a color scheme that matched the the game a little bit better. It had more paint apps in general. I'm curious if the ARM system is compatible. It is not because these did not have the removable forearms. So, and this was one thing about the older figures is Optimus was about the same size. So it's nice that these guys are in scale. I'm curious if they're gonna redo Jazz or I mean, looking at these two together, they could just re-release him and maybe make some changes. But this is a pretty old figure. I don't know if they still have the mold, but just something curious to think about. And then here we've got him with Optimus. This particular Optimus has some DNA kit add-ons. Nothing too crazy. I think the biggest noticeable thing is what's going on with the shoulder pads. But as you see, this works pretty well. And take a look. And we can interchange the gun. Yep. I just think that's cool. Very cool concept. I know they got a broad market for these. They're aiming to sell these to like teenagers, to young adults, to older adults. It's so cool to have some, thought out gimmicks that work. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, me personally, I rather that he hold the gun in his hand, and it's a very short peg, but it does work. And he is definitely War for Cybertron Sideswipe. Like if you don't like this design, he looks very close to this in the game. So I like it. Only thing I could nitpick on are the feet, and I don't know how you could change that with the way the transformation works. So far pretty good. I'm enjoying this. So let's get him into vehicle mode and take a look at how that turns out. Okay, so here he is in his vehicle mode, and there is a lot of folding, a lot of shifting going on, way more than you would imagine. And then when you get done, it's like you feel like he's really compact. Um, it doesn't seem like the mass has shrunken much, but there's just so much folding. Like if you just look underneath, you can see why the feet are kind of made the way they are. And I don't think there's going to be a kit that fixes that. Um, and anything that would change these feet out are going to change the way this transformation works. Um, it looks good. Uh, I like that they've put some care in the wheels. I know a lot of times with Transformers and wheeled vehicles, they will skip on paint. Like this would just be one color. but they've gone through the effort of painting it. There's a pin back here, but for the most part, it looks really good. Um, the thing about the robot chest ending up in the back, it's very unnoticeable. I think maybe technically this area is supposed to be part of the chest in the game, but in the game there's a lot of fix him a little bit. There's a lot of magic happening, so it's gonna prevent you from having a one-to-one representation of the vehicle mode and the transformation because they're fudging it, they're changing the size and shape of parts in the transformation. So I get that. So the gun can tab in the top. It's actually the same tab used for the hand holding way of holding the gun, and it looks really good. I think that looks good. And for comparison, here's that old War for Cybertron Jazz. He had a similar gimmick where you could put the gun on top. It was way easier to transform the Jazz. The Jazz had much fewer steps. So, you know, you don't see that too often where a modern toy is more complicated than toys from 10, 15 years ago. So I think that's cool. If you've got this Jazz or the American release, the size compares a lot better now, and the Sideswipe that came out in that time period, you got a new Sideswipe, way better, more accurate Sideswipe. So I like this. I do look forward to getting the Sun Streaker. I know it's not part of the gamer universe, but you know, Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, they're brothers. They go together when you display them. And those Bumblebee Cybertron scenes, those designs are very much inspired by War for Cybertron. So you can stick all this stuff together and it looks like it belongs in the same place. So I think that's cool. So that's it for our review. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this new release in the comments and tune in again for more videos coming up. Thank you.